सेंटाइल क्या होता है? नीट पीजी में पूरा परसेंटाइल परसेंटाइल बोलते ना, तो क्या करते? नीट पीजी में हाईएस्ट स्कोर कितना है बाबू? 300 इंटू 4 मार्क्स 1200, बराबर 1200। लोएस्ट स्कोर कितना आ सकता? -1200, बराबर। सो लेट अस से द टॉपर, द सो कॉल्ड टॉपर, उसको 1000 आ गया स्कोर। द लोएस्ट स्कोर ऑफ द गाय, लेट अस से -1000. So what examiner will do is 1,80,000 people का स्कोर को असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में लेके उसको 100 इंटरवल्स में डिवाइड करके एक गिवन इंटरवल में जो भी लोग आते हैं उसको एक सेंटाइल बोलते हैं, बराबर। एक सेंटाइल, दैट मीन्स द गाय हु गॉट 1200 इज 100 percentile. From there, out of the 100 groups, the data has been divided. All the people whose scores fall into the first group are called 99 percentile. That's what you need to appreciate. So, centile divides the data into 100, quartile divides the data into 4 parts. That's what you should remember. Now, what is the measure of the location that divides the distribution of the data in a ratio of 3:1? That is called third quartile, is what you should remember. So, the value that identifies the upper 25% of the data, the median of the upper half of the data set, where 75% of all of the data is less than that value, is called third quartile. Third quartile क्या होता है? It is the upper 25% of the data, and it is the median of the upper half of the data set, and it is 75% of all data. That's what you need to understand. So, doctor, this is the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Then this first one, this is first quartile. मीडियन क्वार्टाइल, मीडियन को बोलते हैं सेकंड क्वार्टाइल, एंड ये होता है थर्ड क्वार्टाइल. सो दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बेसिकली अप्रिशिएट. नाउ डॉक्टर, when you are calculating incubation period of the measles in a group of 25 kids, you found a standard deviation 2 and the mean incubation period is 8. Calculate the standard error. स्टैंडर्ड एरर एक्चुअली एरर नहीं है, मगर उसको स्टैंडर्ड एरर बोलते हैं, राइट? सो हाउ विल यू कैलकुलेट? फॉर्मूला मालूम होना है डॉक्टर साहब. नाउ व्हाट इज स्टैंडर्ड एरर ऑफ मीन? व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड एरर ऑफ मीन? द स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन डिवाइडेड बाय द साइज ऑफ द सैंपल will give you standard error of the mean. The standard deviation divided by the square root of n is the sample size, will give you standard error of mean. यहाँ कितने बच्चे हैं? 25 kids. So square root of 25. Standard deviation is given as 2. So 2 divided by square root of 25 is 2 by 5 is equal to 0.4, is what you have to remember is the standard error of mean in this given sum. Barabar? Now, the hemoglobin level in a healthy woman has a mean value of 13.5 gram per deciliter. Standard deviation is 1.5 grams per deciliter. अच्छा, Z score of the woman whose hemoglobin is 15, उसका Z score कितना है? is the examiner's question. So what is a Z score? Z score क्या होता है? Z score is the number of standard deviation from the mean of the data that a given point, a given person's score, population के mean से कितने standard deviations दूर है, इसको कहते हैं Z score, is what you need to remember. So Z score calculate कैसे करते हैं आप? Individual score minus the mean score of the population divided by the standard deviation. क्यों Z score क्या होता है? इस आदमी का वैल्यू पॉपुलेशन के मीन वैल्यू से कितने स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशंस दूर है, उसको कहते हैं Z स्कोर. सो इसके लिए आपको क्या मालूम होना चाहिए? दिस पर्सन्स इंडिविजुअल वैल्यू, मीन वैल्यू ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन डिवाइडेड बाय व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन. सो इन दिस गिवन केस the person's individual value was 15 gram per deciliter was the hemoglobin. The mean value was 13.5. Standard deviation was given as 1.5. 15 minus 13.5 divided by 1.5 will give you 1. That's what you should remember. Now, a population of 20,000 people, their mean hemoglobin value is 13.5. They have a normal distribution, bell-shaped normal distribution. Now the examiner is saying the mean value कितना है? 13.5. What proportion of the population constitutes more than 13.5? If the mean value is 13.5, more than the mean value, what percentage of population will be there? Typically in a normal distribution curve, mean कहाँ रहता है डॉक्टर? एकदम सेंटर में रहता, मतलब 50% उधर, 50% इसके पीछे, 50% उसके आगे. इसलिए 50% of the population, that is 0.5, 50% of the population will be more than 13.5. That's what you should remember. One more thing, in a normal distribution, typically 68.3% data will be there within one standard deviation, 95.5% of data will be there in two standard deviations, 99.7% of population will be there in three standard deviations. That is what you should understand. Now doctor, the mean is 230, standard deviation is 10. Then what are the 95% confidence limits? 95% data कितने दूर में होता है डॉक्टर? 2 standard deviations में है ना? So 2 standard deviations बोले तो 1 standard deviation equal to 10. 2 standard deviations means 20. मतलब 230 minus 20, 230 plus 20 कितना आ गया? 210 एक तरफ, 250 दूसरी तरफ. So between 210 and 250 के बीच में 95% of the population will be there is what you should remember. अभी मैं एक गर्मा गर्म क्वेश्चन, कल के नीट पीजी में एक ग्राफ आएगा और एग्जामिनर आपसे खेलेगा खेलेगा खेलेगा. मुझे मालूम है एग्जामिनर क्या सोच रहे हैं. In this what you have, there are different means. There are different means, but both of them have the same standard deviation. Now, here this curve and this curve, they have the same mean. Mean एक ही है, मगर एक curve flat है, एक curve tall है. That means it has a different standard deviation. I mean, distribution of the data is different. यहाँ these two curves have different mean. मैं ऊपर जा रहा हूँ. These two curves have different means, and also they have different shape now. So that is the reason they have different standard deviation. Different standard deviation. बराबर. Examiner one of these curves देखे बोलेगा मुरली भारद्वाज मालूम है या नहीं.